Okay, we're chilling. Okay. Okay. Tony interview. Fuck it.
Happy birthday, Marty. Oh, no, you don't. Let me get this.
Ah, thanks. You're too kind.
I've heard that.
Unlimited 2% cash back. The Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card.
Oh, nothing works on this acne.
Hi. Who? I'm a licensed dermatology provider from Curology.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Tony.
All right, you guys got a pulse today. What's going on?
Well, Tony, you tell us what is going on. You know, you're back here, another fight. I feel like there's always questions about what's happening with Tony Ferguson before and after the fight. So you tell us, how are you feeling heading into this Saturday night?
I feel heavy. 170 pounds is a lot better than 155. I don't have to worry about cutting those last couple of pounds, which is amazing. I feel strong, I feel sharp, and I feel ready. And so far, Abu Dhabi's been fucking awesome, so titties.
I saw a quote yesterday saying you
Tony's
sparred 120 rounds ahead of this fight. You said the first time you've been sparring in 7 years. Michael Chiesa was here earlier. He sort of doesn't believe that it's been 7 years, and he also said that 120 rounds isn't that special. Tell us about those rounds. How have you found sparring again? Has it really been 7 years, and what has it given you ahead of the fight?
Well, haters will always discredit any kind of work that you give in. That's one. The other thing, too, is to be consistent with sparring, to find a group that you trust that will challenge you, to finding an individual. I have a guy named Josh back home. His name's B. And at the Beehive, I have range from short, strong dudes all the way up to tall, lanky guys, so on and so forth. And sparring's been awesome. I mean, it's always been hit and miss when it comes to certain people and certain things. Some people just want to go in there and take your fucking head off, and then you have to go and break their arms with kicks. Then it kind of discredits the way you want to go in and, like, you know, approach the game again. I mean, I'm me, I guess, and so everybody always wants to try to get the best of me, but that shit doesn't happen. So I really haven't presented myself out there, and this time I asked a buddy, Cisco Rivera, earlier in the year, and I said, yo, dude, you have anywhere that you can go spar? He said, yeah. He invited me in, and I fucking just peeled the Band-Aid off, and I showed up, and that day we did, like, I think it was fucking 24-round Thursday. And so I did like maybe half of them. I did like 12. So every Thursday and every Saturday, I would round up at least 12 rounds of good sparring in. So Kiss can kiss my ass. I got the numbers to prove it. Fuck him.
You know, like, I want to be tactful about how I ask this. Dana White said that he wants this to be a last one. After the last one, he said he wanted that to be a last one.
Well, we want Dana to do a lot of shit last for him, too. So, I mean, we can't discredit that one either. So, I mean, I'm being real with it. At 170 pounds, I'm not killing myself to get to 155. I do feel fresher. 155 pounds is closer to my high school wrestling weight. 152 pounds. So you guys do the math. I'm 40 fucking years old. I've been competing in this sport for a very long time. All around in sports for over 35 years. Kind of crazy. Wrestled in college at 165. 170 is what I won the Ultimate Fighter at. Michael Chiesa won it at 155. You know, we do the math, we do the numbers. You're not supposed to go backwards. I've been fighting backwards my whole entire time, trying to just stay there for who God knows fucking what reason. 170 pounds, I feel comfortable. I don't feel like this is going to be my last fight. I have to do some extraordinary shit is what I'm planning to do. So that's why I feel sharp. I did 2 practices already this morning. I didn't even realize until I was walking up here. I did pad session at like 12:30. I'm watching Chiesa as he's walking through the hallway. I'm walking through, and here he is with his guys, and he looks like he's all skinned out, kind of all skinny, hating life because he probably was cutting weight. You lift a bunch of heavy weights, you're going to fucking have all that weight to lose. And I realized that going 155 pounds. I always want to be the big dude going 155. I'm already a big guy, dude, but I'm long and lanky and I'm strong. So 170 pounds fits me right. Doesn't matter if people say that I should go lower or heavier or whatever the fuck it is. I feel comfortable at this weight.
Is this the last fight on your contract?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you guys all read the tabloids and everything, how they want to keep renewing contracts and stuff. I've been very fortunate to always get a better deal when it comes to myself and have my agency look after me. I love this company and I have plenty of fights left, but this is not a fight last or first or whatever the fuck, how everybody wants to see it. I feel so fucking fresh. Like it's a completely different look. I went into every single workout. I had this, I don't know where I saw it or I read it or who I heard it from. I think I heard it. It might have been on Instagram. You know how you scroll through sometimes and you just kind of hear something kind of chimed in? It said, approach everything as if it's your first time doing it. I've gotten so burnt out doing so many different things, trying to do the same old thing over and over. It didn't make sense to me anymore, and I lost touch. It was like a burnt out candle that you can't light again. I feel rejuvenated. I feel awesome. My family and myself are doing amazing. Everybody's growing. My boys are fucking huge. I love them. They're, you know, I'm coaching Monarch football out in Santa Ana, which is cool tackle. We just got done doing baseball. To see that growth and to see them watch me compete at this level is just awesome. So I'm glad to be here, man.
And last one from me. So in your mind, there's no way this is your last one, right? You're going out there again and again until the wheels fall off?
Nah, I have this game plan. As soon as I get done here, I'm going to study. So I just got done with an hour and a half of cardio. That was 20 bike, 20 tread, 20 elliptical, and 20 on row. And then before that, I did 18 rounds. So my body is activated. And to be as focused as I am right now, I'm taking this not as a kill kind of thing, because that's never how the guy I was, but more of an athlete, as in I'm going to outpoint you. I'm going to fucking work you. I'm going to make you want to get the fuck out of there. So Kiss is going to have his hands full, you know, respect, but the respect ends as soon as that cage door closes.
Tony, over here. Right in front of you. Here.
Where you at?
You won the Ultimate Fighter at welterweight. You've obviously had a lot of success at 170. Does part of you wish you had moved back up a few fights ago, or do you feel like now is the right time?
Well, at the time I had my management. I was with Paradigm, and I wasn't sure who said it. It made me feel awful. They made me feel I was kind of inadequate going 170 pounds. So I don't know if it was Dana or my management at the time or who the fuck it was, but they made me feel like I had to go to 155 pounds. I was like, what the fuck, dude? What do I say about it? Pretty much didn't have a choice, I guess, at the time, what I thought. Maybe I did, I don't know, I don't care. I did my business at 155 pounds, and what I realized is it's harder to go backwards than to go forwards. And I know that all that weight cutting and doing the sauna and the sauna suits, and that was so against everything that I did in college and in high school. My dad was really big on, don't wear sauna suits, don't use the sauna, wrestle your natural weight. You don't have to lift a bunch of weights. You don't want to walk through the door sideways like that. You lose your flexibility. You get hurt easier. I lost track of all that shit. And at 170 pounds in the Ultimate Fighter, they were hating on me because these fuckers were cutting from 205, 210, and these were tall dudes and big dudes. I just didn't give a shit. I've wrestled everybody in college and all the way from like grade school. In order to be the best, you have to beat the best. And what I did was I went from every single weight class, from the lightest all the way to the heaviest. And I would always go in there and handle this shit. Didn't matter how big anybody was. They were the same size on the ground as everybody else. So, I mean, at 170 pounds, I don't know what my record is. What? 14-3?
It's good, bad MMA math. Sorry,
it's
bro.
not bad at welterweight. I mean, lightweight's cool too, but I feel stronger and I feel sharp. I
we're
feel
just
healthy.
Here
I feel
listening
super
to Tony.
solid right now.
You know what he does. He loves to bullshit, make me get hype, think he might be a contender again.
And the past, a few of his recent losses have come by dart stroke. You have a pretty damn good dart stroke. Do you see that? Do you envision ending the fight that way?
I envision the fight going a lot of ways, but not him with his hand raised. I've seen this, and any position where he's going to go, I'm going to be on him at heavy pressure. I don't care what fights.
Honestly, bro, I think he won't look as bad as people expect because he's fighting Chiesa, right? And Chiesa is going to be draining himself big time. And Chiesa already doesn't look good on the feet. So he might look good. He might. But I do think he's still probably going to lose this fight, hands down.
He has seen and what notes he has taken. I see fear in that kid, and I'm going to keep bringing it. You don't have to fear anything except for him making a mistake. I'm going to catch him making that mistake. I guarantee it.
And he seems to think that he has a big advantage in the wrestling. How do you rate his striking?
He's an Ultimate Fighter winner. You have to give him that. I mean, to endure 4 fights in a tournament, anybody's going to have to be well-rounded. You can't just win this shit just taking people's back. You have to be able to take a punch for one.
Look, I know people say this every time Tony's even slightly coherent, but does he sound a little bit better right now? Like, is it just me? He sounds coherent. Maybe he's actually getting a little bit better. I fall into this trap every time I see him, bro.
And be able to dish 1-2 and a kick. So I'm not taking and discrediting any of his striking. I think a lot of people just want to do that. They throw sand in the shit, but here we are in Abu Dhabi and I'm throwing sand, baby.
Thank you.
Tony, right here.
Classic.
I had to throw that out there.
Tony, on this side. Are you aware how
To be honest, he sounds good most
you
of
are
the time.
liked in the Middle East?
There's been a
The
couple
reason
of
that
fights
everyone's were
where,
buying the tickets is you and
just
Nick.
listening to him at the press
And
conferences,
everyone
I kind of wanted him
wanted
to pull
to
out
see
of the
that fight between you and Khabib.
But yeah, I agree.
Do you
for the
ever
most part.
do you ever look back at that fight, what could have happened? It's been scheduled 5 times that it didn't work out.
You know, beforehand, I would have been pissed off again and keep. It's always going to be Tiramisu Tuesday, and it's always going to be.
Yeah. Okay, Tony. Okay. You're not the person I'm worried about this weekend. Not anymore. Yo. Let's see what people are thinking about Elvis Brenner versus Joel Alvarez. I'm curious. Do we got any commentary? These just highlights? Come on, give me someone that's like talking about this fight.
Hey fight fans, here's the minute to win a breakdown for Joel Alvarez and Elvis Brenner. Alvarez enters minus 190, Brenner's plus 160,
Did you say fight fans?
and I like Brenner here as the underdog. He's going to have an age gap of about 5 years, which is the threshold for significance. He's a little bit more active according to the striking stats. Alvarez hasn't landed a takedown yet in his UFC career. Brenner's landed several. I don't think Alvarez really has much upside here outside of submissions. Brenner's been way more active, has fought 4 times more recently, fought last time 3 months ago. We haven't seen Alvarez in over a year.
I don't know what he's talking about upside, because if Alvarez starts to land, he could definitely put Brenner out or bust him up. But I would agree that I'm leaning Brenner as well. Like, that's my guy. The only person I trusted against him was Meaty Beck. I thought Guram could do it, but nah. This guy's built above that. Okay.
Hey everybody, for this Couch Warrior podcast short, I'll be breaking down Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brenner for UFC Abu Dhabi. This is one of my favorite fights on the card, and it's a really good one, but I am leaning with the underdog in Elvis Brenner here, and here's how I see it.
There we go.
I think that Alvarez is a beast. He's extremely dangerous. He's huge for the division, and he's a really good finisher, whether it's on the feet or on the ground. His striking has improved a lot, and he looks really good. Good knees, good kicks, good 1-2s, good hands in general. Now, that said, I still don't like his game. You know, he's best on the ground. He has no wrestling to bring it there. He depends on his opponents taking him down.
Am I the only one that doesn't understand where this is coming from about Joel Alvarez being the best on the ground? Like, maybe back in the regional scene, but in his UFC career, has he really been the best on the ground? Sometimes off his back. You know, let's just see some Joel Alvarez highlights. Because what the fuck? Am I smoked?
Oh, nothing works on this
The best
acne.
moments I remember
Hi.
are
Who?
on
I'm
the
a
beat.
licensed dermatology provider from Curel.
Beautiful
Impressive in
elbows.
every one of those wins, and certainly against Joe Duffy last year on Fight Island. Say that with respect to Joe Duffy. Prior to that, who was it? It was his last fight, Yakovlev. I mean, they hit the ground.
Fighting out of Astoria, Spain, Joel El Fenomeno Alvarez.
Nice, look at that. He's called it, you turned down. Coming to the end. And again. Get unrivaled UFC access with ESPN Plus. The attention of the nice
15 or 20% commitment to get this fight down to the sting of the punch. Round 3. Money to bet. Fight in the UFC.
Quick cars for decision.
This one really believes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
6'3",
especially with those long legs.
You can ground fights, but in his UFC debut, we did not see him even attempt to take it. It'd be more frustrated. But right now, he's like
to the round, but we didn't get
long pass.
straight down through the guard. Nice,
much better output from Benoit in that first round, but he's getting backed up here.
But he needs to be more offensive in his ground game. This is nice.
Some of the more recent highlights. His older fights, he looks mid.
There it is, right? That's exactly what he does. He likes to force you into these attacks. Yeah, he's squeezing. Now, if Yakovlev can stay him into the full guard, Yakovlev needs to be getting time for Yakovlev. 2 minutes have expired here in Rally. And this is once you get the wrestler on top of the grappler.
Brother, I'm going to be honest. I've wanted to say Corey the whole time. I want to be a contrarian. But I think I have to lean with Umar. You know, my main event picks record this year is not doing great, and I kind of want it to go back up. So I think I'm gonna have to go with Umar. He's just a little bit too strong, and I think that having that lifelong wrestling background is gonna serve him well. But I love Corey, genuinely one of my favorite fighters.
Sturdy, but look at this. Now Alvarez up on that armbar completely in. Again, Yakovlev
is that you, Joe? That's good, brother.
In the minus 160 range as the betting favorite tonight, and
yeah, okay, I remember this fight well. Because these elbows
really controls you, whereas Alvarez is kind of like, oh, he's hurt.
Nice knee.
He looks nice elbows.
Elbows around the guard. Boys, not bad.
They need to get him with the fighting.
He's stalking his place.
This is a
become a
huge
champion.
opportunity.
Yeah, what's good, Joe?
Respect back.
I thought I recognized that.
Otherwise, Alvarez is just going to keep
What you up to,
going
boys?
down. Throwing big elbows.
Shots, there's the warning. El Fenomeno with a masterclass and a TKO stoppage.
Bro, but these highlights are just not enough for Elvis Brenner. Elvis Brenner's a G. Yeah, give me some highlights. Why Umar is the real deal.
We are going to go over common pieces of career advice that job seekers.
Really loud, by the way. Okay, good. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Fucking. Let me get that shit sting. You know what? Let's see if my boy Frankie has a video about anything having to do with this card. Hey, if for those of you in here that don't know about Bad MMA Math, shout out Bad MMA Math. Check him out if you like MMA content. He's gonna be streaming later too. Yeah, no, this is my guy right here. Yeah, UFC Vegas. Okay, looks like no one's talking about it. Paddy versus Islam. Paddy wins. Brother, you're smoked. Islam kills him. Like legit murder. First death in the octagon. Bad Math doesn't have a video about it. Somebody has to have a video about this card. I mean, I know Guru will. What's the MMA plug? Kids on the come. That was his chin. Yeah, my boy got 700 subs now. Good looks. Kenny Okoye. Yeah, no, Joe. What are you smoking on right now, G? Bro, no one is talking about this card right now but Guru? You gotta be kidding me. I've already watched his shit. Brother, I need some fucking content. I'm about to just talk about the card. Joe, have you looked at this card for this weekend? It's pretty solid. And it starts at 9 a.m. our time. Okay, yeah, Weasel doesn't have a video about it. I'm just gonna... Hennigan versus Nurmagomedov. Bro, someone has to have a video about this shit besides Guru. I already watched it.
So here is Umar Nurmagomedov.
Oh, it's good, Frankie. We're just trying to figure out who to like check out right now for some fight picks. Starting a fight card after breakfast sounds sweet. Nah, for real, man. It does. Frankie, you know any YouTubers I could check out right now to like look at a full card breakdown? Because I just checked out Guru's. I went to your page to see if you had any videos about this, but I saw that you and Making the Walk haven't made one yet. Recently. I've just seen a bunch of like shorts. Let's see. We want picks. I don't really do breakdowns anymore, lad. I'm fucking lazy. Oh yeah, no. I know you don't do breakdowns. I've heard you say that a couple of times. But I thought like you might have a video talking about the main event or whatnot. MMA experts. MMA experts, okay. I don't know them. I'm not familiar. Oh wait, that was the same shit. Damn, is everyone just using the
We
same
are going to go
thumbnails?
over common pieces of career advice that job seekers get and separate.
UFC Abu Dhabi. These are the full card predictions and the betting breakdown. Looking forward to talking about each of the matchups on this card. So make sure you guys smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on and make sure you share the video too. And also note, I'll be live for the entire
Guru with the
card
fedora.
Saturday,
I don't
12
watch him
p.m.
anymore.
Eastern time. Early start for this
You don't
Abu
watch this
Dhabi
guy?
card. Don't miss the fight. One of the closer to in this.
Yeah, you know what?
Should've
Let's just jump to his hot takes. Jai Herbert, Indian Leon Edwards. Guram, I mentioned about this one. Do you know much about this guy? Jordan Vucenic, Frankie? Because I'm hearing a lot of hype about this guy, but I'm not familiar. I only know him from beating Morgan Charrier. To be fair, put some effort in, is knowledgeable. Okay, fair enough.
Jordan Vucenic. Now, this one makes a bit more sense to me. I think Guram pulls through with a hard-fought decision. Vucenic does have decent grappling. He's kind of known for the grappling outside of the UFC.
This is crazy that Guram's on a fucking 2-fight losing streak.
I know Guram is kind of a letdown, though. Guram's got decent pressure and a light, bouncy striking style with good combinations.
He's a featherweight. Okay, I figured because he took on Charrier.
After that Elves Brenner fight, I didn't like.
Oh, if he's a featherweight, man, he's cooked. You can't take on Guram at 145. I mean, I'm sure this will be a lightweight bout, but he's gonna be too small. Grim is a tough opener. Yeah, this is a rough first fight. I mean, ask Elvis Brenner.
And then getting knocked out by Elvis.
Oh wait, no, this wasn't Elvis's debut.
A wild go in the first
I take that back.
for Guram.
Ask fucking Mateus Gamrot.
Who's from Cage
Gamrot had to face this guy in the opening.
Skill set, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. I don't believe that it's gonna be enough. I think Vucenic is going to.
Vucenic must be decent to be only a plus 200 dog. Yeah, plus 200 dog as well.
Decent shape, 28-year-old guy, dreaming of a chance in the UFC. The skill set's good. I like the submission wins, but I don't like competition level. 12-8, 10-4, 13-8, 6-0. So yeah, you're slick on the ground submitting these.
Elvis is mustard,
though. That doesn't mean that you can come into
mustard.
The UFC.
What is that term? Is that some UK slang?
Brenner's name. I think Garam's gonna pull through. I think he gets
this card is a dog card.
Leaning decision though. I feel like Vucenic's pretty
durable. Like a card for underdogs. Let me peep it. A dog card. Mustard means amazing. Oh, okay. So you actually rate him. Okay, for sure. I rate Elvis Brenner highly. He's my 2023 prospect of the year. This card is solid as fuck. There are great underdogs on this card. Hit me with some of yours, Frank, because I don't really know. I think the only underdog I'm like solid on is him. Maybe slightly Rolando, but I think Jai Herbert can get that done. Do you know when Patty fights again or not? Joe, you love Patty. I would say Patty Pimblett is going to fight again within the next, like, by the end of the year for sure. He'll be on like a November or December card, I feel like. He took no damage. He's a fucking superstar. Shout out to everyone in the chat right now. If you could drop a like on the stream, that would help it so much. I'm not going to spam you about that, but it would really push it out to more people, and I would appreciate it. Okay, let's get right back to the picks.
Finished as a professional either. Garam doesn't have a lot of power.
The Blob Gaziev versus Dontel Mays.
Mays is an okay striker.
Michelle.
Slow
okay,
on the feet, though.
But Frankie, let me fill you in on something. On Instagram, Michelle put in a comment section that he thinks he's going to lose the fight. Like, almost verbatim. I even checked it out myself on Instagram just to make sure. It's real. I don't think he trusts himself. Or else I would maybe put a little bit on him because I agree. He's a solid underdog. But, yeah, I don't trust a fighter that doesn't trust themselves.
Oh, man, I always feel like he's an inch off from a big punch. Like, how do I describe it? He lacks precision, and I don't think he's that powerful, and he doesn't have great speed.
The Pirate is mid, I agree.
Ultimately incredible.
I don't think he's going to be anything.
But he's a tough dude that consistently fights, and he's experienced.
Like maybe a fun top 10 fighter.
But he's a journeyman.
Outside the top 10.
Shamil Gaziev should run through Dontel Mays. Dontel Mays, 5 fights ago, had that loss to Hamdi Abdullah Wahab, who ended up being terrible. He was also on steroids too, Hamdi, but don't matter. Gaziev is going to win. Gaziev is a confident pick. Don't write him off because he got striked up or boxed up, whatever you want to call it, against Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Rozenstruik has been in the UFC for years, fighting at a high level.
The only thing that concerns me is he had a break in his last fight and is coming back quickly.
Eating the big punches from a powerful heavyweight who's a
Are we talking about Oleksiejczuk?
So I'm going to pick Gaziev to win. I think that he can put pressure on Dontel Mays and make him uncomfortable. I think Gaziev is better
only has
than Dontel Mays. I think Gaziev
his hands don't look that good.
Throwing hard shots. I think he's live to get him to the ground.
I want to see him be put with, like, take some adversity.
By submission. I feel like he's going to wear Dontel Mays down on the floor a bit. I think he's going to land shots on the feet.
I have a little bit of mic echo, so it makes me, like,
I think he'll get him to the ground,
stutter on some of the shit I'm saying because I hear it coming back.
So
I'm having a stroke.
Gaziev over Dontel Mays. I think he's getting his hand raised.
Okay, so he's confident in Shamil, the Blob. That's wild. Muhammad Yahya versus Cowboy Fernandez. That's a hard fight to call for me. Menifield Musakanov.
Is our featured prelim. It's Alonzo Menifield versus Azamat Mirzakhanov. I'm going with Azamat Mirzakhanov to win, even though he looks like a fat Russian.
Yo, Menifield was low-key on a run for a second.
Because he is surprisingly slick with his striking, and he's also a southpaw. And when we look at Alonzo Menifield, I'm sorry, but the fight IQ last fight, bro, it was like 30 out of, not even, bro, it was 0.
Char versus Bo Nickel would be funny.
Was nonsensical.
That would be a good fight.
The game plan against
I want
Carlos
to see
Ulberg
that, honestly.
for Alonzo Menifield was
classic striker versus
at
wrestler.
With my chin up in the air, so he can
Like
just
probably
knock
the
me
best
fuck out. Like,
striker versus wrestler match we can get right now because it's like purely a striker and purely a wrestler. They're not good at much else.
Oh, maybe it was a decent game.
Bo Nickel would finger his bum. I don't think he's that good. You're probably right. He's probably not that good.
Knocked down 12 seconds. It was
He's had trouble taking down certain opponents that I've watched to get washed by other people.
That knockout worries me.
Like his last opponent on 300. Fucking Cedricus Dumas was taking him down easier.
Azamat Mirzakhanov is pretty precise with his stand-up. Questionable gas.
There's a lot that concerns me about that man.
Striker.
And he used to be pretty good. It's sad how far he's fallen.
He's a physically strong guy. He's incredibly jacked with muscle. Like, you know, I won't lie to you. I wanted to be like, okay, Menafield is a live underdog, but I can't. After that abysmal fight IQ shown last time, I'm too worried about it. And then Murzakanov being undefeated and also
and for his win streak too. Like, how do you fuck that up?
I think the OV is the side I got to ride on. So I'm going Azamat.
I'm agreeing with this guy so far. I'm not gonna lie.
Distance. I know Menafield got chin too much.
Here we go.
To our main card opener. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the likes.
This is the one I'm curious about.
This is not an easy one to pick. I'm going to pick Elves Brenner over Joel Alvarez because I think that he can end up on top in scrambles. And I also think that he could potentially take Alvarez down and do some.
Okay, so with how many people I'm seeing picking Brenner, it's making me nervous. It's making me nervous now. Whenever this happens, it sways the other way. And I wanted to be the only guy picking Brenner.
Some damage from top position. The weird thing about Joel Alvarez is he has really good Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but he has horrible takedown defense. He's at like an 11% takedown defense rate.
Elvis got good cardio. Elvis has a hell of a chin. He has power. He has heart. The only thing he's really lacking is a little bit of fight IQ sometimes and some technique in the striking. Yeah, Elvis has more dog in him for sure. That's why I want to pick him.
He's got power. I think he's a more sharp striker than Elves Brenner.
I
don't think it necessarily comes down to the sharpness of Alvarez. I think it comes down to Elves Brenner being that type of dog where he's going to keep coming. And he's got good looping shots over the top. He does have a good grappling game. And another
if this fight is too clean on the feet, though, I would favor Joel Alvarez.
So in my mind,
because Elvis was getting tagged up by Midibek Orobai.
He looked decent late against Orobai, who's a tremendous wrestler, has way better wrestling than Joel Alvarez 2.5 months ago. It was a good learning experience, and he didn't take a ton of damage.
He comes back and fights pretty often,
and he got caught a little bit, but ultimately wasn't like he was busted open with big shots and like nearly knocked out. Really, like he got rocked in the first round, but just rocked a bit.
Box.
Fight before that, Chin Kruczewski easily. Beat Garam's win.
I don't care about the Dern fight. I'm going Gudinez.
Alvarez.
There's no way you're picking Tony, right?
Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa.
No shot he's picking Tony, boys.
Michael Chiesa, what the hell are we doing? Why do we have Tony Ferguson with 7 losses in a row fighting? Is it 7 or is it 8? Now I got to recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It hurts.
I love me some T. Ferguson.
Elvis training with Charles Oliveira.
As bad as Michael Chiesa has looked lately. Come on.
Oh, no. Elvis trains with Charles Oliveira, so I'm hoping he can stay safe on the ground with Alvarez.
Tony Ferguson lose to Chiesa.
He better. I would think Elvis might actually be better on the ground, to be honest. Maybe not as slick with the submissions, but definitely will chase more and find himself in more like opportunistic positions. I think he can win the scrambles.
Years ago, I would have picked Tony Ferguson. But he's so far removed from his prime.
Dude, I don't even want to pick Michael Chiesa on this. He's on a fucking a 3-fight losing streak, and he has not looked that good.
Fight. I say Michael Chiesa gets a decision. I think he probably takes Tony down.
Bro, I might take Tony just for fun.
Looks really slow
I really might.
These days, seems like his reflexes are completely.
I want to be the guy to predict his fucking comeback.
His body doesn't move the same. He's taken a lot of injuries over the course of his career. What the fuck are we going? What are we doing, bro?
Facts,
this is the logic of the UFC. Tony Ferguson, ex-fan favorite. Let's give him
Ludovic Klein versus Diego Ferreira. Is that a boring wrestler? No way. Wait, was that announced? Hold up. Yeah. I don't know if that's a current fight, but I would probably go with Diego Ferreira, bro. That guy is something else. Damn, for a second I thought that was actually like a fight that was happening. Nah, dream matchup. Fair enough. Honestly, Diego Ferreira is such a dog, and he's so good on the ground. I think he would find a way to get it there too many times and just drown him out. Hot take.
PFL. That's crazy. Michael Chiesa for the win, even though he looked like shit against Holland and got subbed easy. Brady decision loss was fair. Luque subbed him up too. Listen, Tony Ferguson does have a good Darce choke, and the weakness of Chiesa is the Darce choke. So I will say, I am praying for a Tony Ferguson Darce choke in this fight. I will
Same.
not put Michael Chiesa in some parlay at minus 410. Leave him the hell out and let's root for T-Ferg. Even though I'm picking Chiesa, I think Ferguson by sub. I got to see that prop.
Okay.
Next fight on the card, Marlon Chito Vera versus Davison Figueiredo. I like this fight. I'm going with Marlon Chito Vera to win a close decision.
Okay, this is interesting.
I think he can pull it off. I feel like everybody's overglazing Figgy's grappling after destroying a completely washed Cody Garbrandt. And I think nobody wants to accept the reality that Cody Garbrandt's gone.
Bro, Marlon Vera. Is this guy forgetting that Aldo, in his old age, a weight class down from his normal one, backpacked Marlon Vera to a win? And you think Figueiredo can't do that? Marlon also drops rounds, and you can't do that in a 3-rounder. Both of them said they have a fight in the works. Okay, that's for sure. Yeah, I always wonder why Ferreira takes so long to come back. He did take a lot of damage in his last bout, though.
He's got a face tattoo now. He's not.
Bro, I have Figgy on this all day.
He's Cody Gone Garbrandt. Figgy's wrestling is good, but Marlon
I'm picking Vera too. That is
takedown
crazy to me.
He get him down, but he'll find ways to burst up. I also think that.
I mean, Figgy has 2 losses on his record right now to Moreno, right? Which is an interesting style matchup to begin with. But if you take those away, the guy is damn near undefeated. And Marlon's been figured out by almost 10 people. And I would argue maybe even a little more. Some splits should go his way. Some could go the other way. You know what I mean? I think he was robbed against Song Yadong. I remember watching that. But man, I feel like he's going to be getting hit on the feet at range. Cheeto waits too long to get started. That's what I think too. I think he's going to drop the first round. He might find a way to pick up the third. But I think that Figgy is going to either pick up the second or the third just with grappling. And he'll win the first just based on Marlon not having any activity. That's how I feel like it's going to go. I think Davison Figueiredo is the safest decision prop. Because I don't think he'll finish him.
Vera with the length advantage will have a striking from range ability in this fight. I can see him catching Figgy with some jabs. And
although Vera is much younger, that's trippy.
It's going to be a nail biter, and I think
Vera is not even in his prime yet.
Decision. I think he lands some more significant leg kicks in the fight, switches to the body a bit. I think Figgy gets him down, but Vera finds a way up. Vera lands a nice elbow on the inside, makes it a little bit of a dirty fight, maybe cuts Figueiredo. That would be good. If he can land an elbow and cut Figueiredo, that will probably give him a more fair chance of winning this close decision. Because I do think it's going to be a close decision. We're not going to see Figueiredo go out and absolutely body Marlon Vera like he did to the likes of a Rob Font or like he did to the likes of a damn Cody No Love at this point.
Okay. I see.
Our co-main event of the evening, Shara Bullet Magomedov versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. I'm going to pick Shara Bullet Magomedov.
You have to.
But I am worried because Oleksiejczuk, as bad as he's been looking lately, he's younger than Shara Bullet, and he's been fighting in the UFC forever.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to just stop this right here. It doesn't matter sometimes. It doesn't. Some people are forged by the UFC. I don't think this guy is one of them. I think he was at a time. He's starting to look absolutely atrocious. And then on top of that, what he said in the Instagram comment section just makes me have no faith in this guy. He doesn't even trust himself to win. I was originally going to maybe side with him because he has the grappling and Shara sucks on the ground. But I don't trust him now. I think he's going to get kneed in the face. Yeah, I'm going knee in the face.
Shara Bullet's slicker with the kicks, and I think that's a difference maker. And note something. Oleksiejczuk is a southpaw. I think that body kick for Shara Bullet can do some serious damage here against Oleksiejczuk. So I am going to pick the side of Shara Bullet. I'm actually thinking It's either a body kick TKO or he might end up winning a decision here against Oleg Jacek. Oleg Jacek can definitely box, and I think people are going to be quick to write Shara Bullet off a little bit after his fight against Antonio Tricoli. But let's look at that fight for a second. Tricoli was
Shara
in
just
short
looks
notice
mid.
and placement, right? He was a weird frame, 6'5". Oleg Jacek is going to be shorter than Shara Bullet. And I think that this
Shara
is good
versus
for
Bruno
Shara because
Ferreira.
He likes to have
That's a good
the
fight.
range advantage, and I think
That's a hella good fight. You could put up a lot of good matchups at middleweight.
You can give praise to Oleg Jacek for dropping Kevin Holland last time, but he's got extremely low fight IQ. He follows him to the ground and gets his arm really fucked up, which is really weird.
He did drop Kevin. I forgot about that. Is Michelle's arm already healed? What was wrong with his... Oh, from the armbar. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is. But yeah, how the fuck does that work? Huh.
His arm seemingly a month ago, and now he's fighting here. Does that make any sense? So we have a one-armed Michael Oleg Jacek versus Shara Bullet.
Yeah, I think the UFC must have just
you know what?
given him solid incentive to come into this fight. So they still had a co-main event. Because what the fuck? His arm should be gone. Kevin Holland still owns it. Okay, so he's leaning Shara, but he's nervous. Michelle has decent hands. He has really good hands. He actually has solid boxing. It's underrated. But, and power, too. In the boxing, I would actually give this one to Michelle.
Let's jump to the main event. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the likes. If you're new to the channel, subscribe.
I'll give you a like. I'll give you a like.
I'm going with Umar Nurmagomedov.
You earned it.
And I know.
Even though I disagree with some of the shit you're saying.
You have to attack Corey. Look at the odds. Look at the legacy. Look at what he's done in the game. Look at who he's faced. I get it. I like Corey Sandhagen. He's a tremendous striker, and he has decent grappling too. And Umar Nurmagomedov has not fought anybody elite. But something about Umar that you must remember is he has been preparing for this fight against Corey Sandhagen for a very long time. This fight was supposed to happen
and then he has
a while
Khabib
back.
helping him game plan.
He's getting the treatment of the Nurmagomedovs or the Makhachevs, all the Dagestan.
And he's honestly being given a stylistic, like, easy-ish matchup, even though it is Corey. And I don't think Corey should be a fucking plus 200 against anybody.
Pretty quick out the gate. And that's exactly what's happening here with Umar. Umar's takedowns are definitely going to be on point. I think.
What's up, I9s? Oleg Jacek has good hands. Well, good hand. What's good making the walk? It's good to see you.
Oh my God, he's going to get
He does. He does have good
rocks him with
hands.
a big shot.
I wish he had some confidence in himself right now because he could get this one done if he had
Bilal
it.
Muhammad embrace the grind on Leon. And I think we're going to see Umar Nurmagomedov embrace the grind on Corey Sandhagen. Umar had tremendous potential for a long time, and I know you all see it. Yeah, he hasn't fought the elite opposition.
I see the potential. I see it. But they're not giving me matchups to really feel like, okay, this is the guy now. You know? It's like they give him a step up and then they give him a step right back down. I hate that because bantamweight is stacked enough for you to just continuously climb. Khabib will be in Umar's corner. That's a big deal. It's a huge deal.
Islam Makhachev, and he's
It's everything.
Habib Nurmagomedov. You get what I'm saying? The cousin of Habib, his brother is Usman Nurmagomedov, who's probably the best lightweight outside of the UFC. Definitely the best lightweight outside of the UFC. So yeah, he hasn't faced.
Yeah, I want Usman Nurmagomedov in the UFC so bad.
But he's
that guy
sparring
is
with
an assassin.
Caliber guys every single day that have elite skill sets in multiple facets of the game. Umar Nurmagomedov is more than prepared for this spot. And I also believe that Umar Nurmagomedov is going to fight to his true potential in this fight against Corey. Last time against Beksat, he got caught in a weird position. He got hurt early, right? He recovered quickly.
I feel like they're shorting Corey a bit. I think Umar's legit, but Corey is elite. Yeah.
How could you
and
not?
like, bro, plus 200 against any bantamweight on the planet. I don't see Corey. I don't see Corey at those odds. He's too fucking good. Look at how close he made those fights with TJ and Peter Yan. Like, wild. And TJ was hurting, but he was still, like, closer to his top level at that time. And that's one of the best fights I've ever seen, too. If you guys haven't seen that in the chat, you need to check that shit out. Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw. That's an amazing fight.
How could you not?
This shows you
He does
how
have
good
a knockout
Corey
win
is.
over Hani Barchalos. That was pretty badass. Umar's got good striking. He's got
Barchalos?
slick kicks, and he's got good speed on the feet. And his chain wrestling is exceptional, man. He's going to be on takedowns consistently. I think he lands them. I think Sandhagen can defend a few, but it's not going to just be a few. It's going to be all night long. And Umar can also strike with intent and can strike well. Sandhagen would need to pick the perfect
striking
game.
with Corey.
5 rounds of takedown defense and outstriking
Nut
Umar.
hugging from the fucking opening bell.
Corey Sandhagen landing either a flying knee or like a massive shot, maybe an elbow and then a knee in the center or a big body kick. Corey Sandhagen needs to put Umar Nurmagomedov away to keep him off of him and keep him at bay. He's going to have to hurt him. And I just don't think there is a high likelihood that Sandhagen can put the lights out of Nurmagomedov. I think Nurmagomedov closes the gap, makes Sandhagen uncomfortable, finds takedowns, garners control time, wears him down from top position, has okay moments in the striking. And I think Nurmagomedov is live to get a decision. Now, I will say this.
I think Umar might pick up a late submission. I think Corey's going to try to take risks after losing like the first 2 or 3 rounds. He's going to take risks on the ground in the 4th round, and I think he's going to give up his neck. And I think it's going to be wraps. And I love Corey, man. Like, this is upsetting. I really hope he can get the upset. Fuck it. We checking out bedtime.
Oh, nothing works on this acne.
Hi. Who? I'm a licensed dermatology provider from Curology.
What it do?
What the?
Bedtime.
Why am I unsubbed
hey,
from
man,
bedtime
listen,
now?
today I am here to give my predictions, my analysis, my breakdown, if you will, of UFC Fight Night Sandhagen.
I think he won that
versus
TJ fight. I
Nurmagomedov.
haven't rewatched
This
it.
is a great fight
I'm
night.
not taking
We got a great
anything
fight
from
night
Umar
card.
versus
Got a great
Henry
fight night card.
Barcelos.
I'm not in a rush to watch this.
I'm
It's
not
going to be a
taking-
great
yeah,
card.
no,
I'm
that's
very
a good-
excited.
It was a solid performance. Song was taking Corey down and took his back. Yeah, exactly. You cannot let somebody like that take your back. Although I will say, I think Corey allowed him to take his back or like gave it up easier because he wasn't worried about what was coming his way. I don't think he would be that like stupid, I guess, for lack of a better word, against Umar, you know? And also making the walk, I kind of agree looking back at that fight now. At the time, I thought TJ won, but I'm also like a huge TJ, like, how do I word it? I guess Glazer, bro. Like, I love TJ Dillashaw. His cousin went to my high school, and her and I had a thing for a little bit, so I've always felt like a little extra attachment to TJ.
And I'm going to be giving you my predictions for this. I am obviously, of course, if you didn't know, the best predictor on YouTube. And before I get started, if there's any timestamps for a particular fight that you want to hear about, scroll down in the comments and then scroll the fuck back up. I'm not putting timestamps in the comments, guys. I don't know how to do it, so stop asking. Let's get into this, man. Starting off on the prelims, what do we got? I see Shamil Ghazi. I'm very excited to talk about him. We got Cedricus Dumas versus Dennis Tylulin. Now, this guy, Dennis Tylulin, he's 10-9 in the US. He's 10-9. He's in the UFC.
Lad.
And he's not a WMMA
Fucking
fighter, and people are
cheese
picking
bag,
this guy
yeah.
to win. I'm going to be picking Cedricus Dumas to win this fight by decision. I think he's going to be able to take down Dennis Tylulin. I don't think Tylulin is taking his
Rewatch
career
Umar
very
versus
seriously.
Nate Maness. That's how
I think
Umar
he's just trying to
versus
get a
Corey
payday
will
out of
look.
this stuff. He's, like I said, he's 10-9.
I think Corey
He's
isn't
taking
going to
short
look
notice fights.
as
I understand that he's
fish out
losing
of
to
water
decent
on the ground.
competition,
Because
but
Nate Maness looked
I
horrible.
just think Cedricus Dumas
I respect that regarding
is
TJ.
an
I feel like
active,
at worst
real
he's the
fighter
third
trying
best
to move
bantamweight
up
of
the
all time.
rankings, trying
At
to improve.
worst, I agree.
Obviously, if this doesn't work out, he's going to go back
best, I
to his
put him at
career
second.
on Vine as Boonk in Boonk Gang. But until that happens,
Sometimes
this
I want to
guy's
give
gonna
him
keep winning.
first.
And I think he's going to be able to out-grapple Dennis Tylulin, get a decision win against him to open up the card here in Abu.
TJ Dillashaw is always going to be the biggest what if in MMA to me. I don't care what anybody says. He's the biggest what if to me, even though he became a champion. Because what could he have been if he didn't take those steroids, go down to 125, and ruin his whole career? Probably the greatest bantamweight, I think. I think he would have beat fucking primed Peter Yan. Hot take. Fish out of water, that was funny.
Derby. Yeah, I'm going to pick Boom Gang to win this one. Let's move on.
Yeah, what do you guys think? TJ Dillashaw versus Peter Yan when Peter Yan was rising. Who wins that? If TJ never went down to 25 and ruined his career, if his first defense right after that, right after the Henry fight, let's say he fought him at 35, right, and he beats him, who do you guys have, him versus Peter Yan? Because I've got TJ. I think the wrestling is just going to be a little bit too much. And I mean, his striking is 5 stars. Let's be real.
We got fucking Jai Herbert versus Rolando Bedoya. Now, listen up, dude. Here's the thing about this matchup, you guys. I don't want to pick either of these two. I really don't want to pick either of these two because I'm going to be real with you, dog. You've got Jai Herbert, who a gust of wind and this guy's sleeping on the canvas. And you've got Rolando Bedoya, who literally his only redeeming quality is that he has a good chin and good cardio. He's built like a pudding, like a cup of pudding. And he's got the Diego Lopez light haircut. And
Bedoya's claim to fame is losing a good loss against Chaos Williams. Sadly. Having a good loss is his claim to fame in the UFC.
Coming down to lightweight from the welterweight division. So I think that Jai Herbert, being a big lightweight who's stayed in this division for a long time, only really lost to decent competition, I guess. I don't know. He's just, I trust Jai Herbert a little bit more, but even then, I really don't want to pick him. I'm going to say Jai Herbert wins this one by decision just from striking at range, and I think he's going to be able to maybe stuff takedowns if that becomes a factor. But Rolando Bedoya just kind of walks forward and boxes with you a little bit. I wasn't really impressed by his performance against Song Kanan. So yeah, I'm probably going to pick Jai Herbert here, but fuck, man, this is a disgraceful fight. I'm really not sure who to pick. It's disappointment either way, in my opinion. But I'm going to pick Jai Herbert. Next fight.
Yeah, don't care.
Power in his hands, but decent striking. Very technical striker. Guram, of course, this guy's a fucking marauder. Went to war with Mateus the Goat Gamrot, so that's very high ranking for him. Was beating Elvis Brenner, before he lost to him. No shame in losing to Elvis Brenner.
Guram's having a rough time in the
he
UFC.
lost to the GOAT Demiris Magulov. So he hasn't won a fight in about 3 years, which is a bit concerning. On the other hand, Vucenic's on a good win streak, submissions. He's coming in on a very quick turnaround, which could either end up really good for him or really bad for him. I'm just going to say, fuck it. I think Vucenic is going to win an upset here. I think sometimes these short notice guys that are good prospects that should be in the UFC, when they get their chance and it's kind of a bad matchup, they always seem to kind of thrive. Like they always seem to come in and kind of surprise people. Like I feel like the only outcomes of this fight, either we get a Benoit Saint Denis versus Zaleski dos Santos situation where Guram just beats the fuck out of this guy, or we get like a Felipe Lima situation where Vucenic comes in.
That TJ take isn't bizarre. His movement makes it hard for Peter Yan to get inside. I think that would have been a close fight that TJ could definitely win. Yeah. This is a must win for Guram, which is crazy to say. Guram is like back against the wall right now. And he's one of the best fighters in the whole sport, in my opinion, technically. Like on paper. Hasn't been shown it though.
And is seemingly
I didn't realize Jai was 36.
Fine from a quick turnaround and submits Guram Kuchadadze
36
late rounds. I'm gonna say Jordan Vucenic wins this by submission in round 3. I
Jai
think he's gonna pull off the upset here.
Jai is one of those fighters that
I don't know. I like the momentum. Talks about like
Jai is one of those fighters that has been forged in the UFC, and that's why I trust him against Bedoya. I mean, having moments like that against Ilya, nobody else has had him at all.
Slamming that student that he had and all this shit. I don't think Tony Ferguson is this wholesome grandpa that everybody should be rooting for. But regardless, he's not the worst guy in the sport. We got fucking John Jones rolling around. Regardless, I'm picking Michael Chiesa. Any technical shit you want to talk about in this? Oh, but I don't know, dude. Tony Ferguson has good Dars. Michael Chiesa. Listen, dude. Michael Chiesa. I think he's gonna get Dars, dude. I think he's gonna get Dars, man. Dude, he got Dars by Vicente Luque, bro. It's the same thing. We're not talking about Tony Ferguson.
Some dope highlights outside
it's
of
2024.
UFC.
We are talking about.
Let's look up some Vucenic highlights. I don't even remember his first name. Bruh. Vucenic. Why did it just do that? Yes, sir. 4 years ago. These European fucking fighters have such dedicated fans, bro.
It's hard to believe that boy is 70 kilos. 70 kilos are handsome, that's for sure.
already kind of like how he throws strikes. God damn. His grappling's not that bad. Let me some recent shit.
For the French veteran
Picard. Okay.
Happy birthday, Marty. Oh, no, you don't. Let me get this.
Ah, thanks. You're too kind.
I've heard that.
Unlimited 2% cash back. The Wells Fargo Active Cash credit
Fight
card.
begins at 2 minutes. Okay, cool.
For the French veteran Picard in the white. And it shows you the level of respect that Vucenic has gained in Cage Warriors. The fact that you've
I'm already feeling like he's going to be too small against Guram.
Cheering for the English guy against the French guy.
I mean, I think that's somewhat beautiful when I saw them doing that, because I feel like they had Morgan and Vucenic had such a battle that you do earn each other's respect, and when you can earn not just the fighter's respect, but
Yeah, I can tell he seems like a kicker.
Very difficult not to like Vucenic. He's such
Oh, I gotta see these hands.
He really does.
Show me some boxing.
He's incredibly skillful, he's talented, and he seems like a good guy behind all of it.
You know, we had similar scenes down in the York Hall when Paul Hughes fought Morgan Charrier, and we thought World War III was going to break out, but by the end of the fight, both sets of fans applauding each other. You love to see it. Vucenic looking the slightly bigger man in the cage. Swift punches from Picard, though. Be interesting to see if he goes with the karate black belt or he goes with the judo black belt in this one.
I like the body work.
Is he going to want to clinch up with Jordan Vucenic? Will he be able to?
Man, I feel like I can already envision how this is going to go with Guram.
We saw a great game plan from Vucenic last time out. He knew that Ferranti was a very powerful striker. Got the takedowns, found the back in the second round for the submission.
So I don't know why, I just realized this, but your guys' chats should be popping up on the screen.
Finished James
Oh, it's
Hendon with
up
that
there.
technique as well.
I have to get that fixed.
Referee Dan Mullaney just watching, asking the fighters to watch their heads on the way in.
Let's get to this. Let's get to this highlight. Oh, it's a choke?
He doesn't have both hooks in, but he doesn't really need him. There's the second hook. He's looking to switch for the rear naked choke, and he's putting...
Okay. Yeah, I don't like him fighting at lightweight. I think he should really shine at featherweight. It's rough that some of these guys get their debut opportunity against absolute killers at weight classes they don't fight at, you know? It's unfortunate. This guy seems like he could have somewhat of a run at featherweight if they just gave him the right matchups. At least start him out right. Fuck. You don't need to cater to him. Huh. Okay. Guardian Origins Hyder Emil. Okay, boys. I think I'm going to wrap this stream up. Honestly, just kind of wanted to get a test run out. Get this shit started off. But shout out all y'all that came through. I'm definitely going to be streaming pretty often now. Yeah, I mean, just needed to get my audio set up and whatnot.